What's up, you guys? It's Sydney, and today I'm going to be doing my very first review video, and I'm super excited. I'm going to be reviewing the Naked On The Run palette from Urban Decay, and this is brand new. It just came out on the 20th, and I think it's in stores today, which is December 1st. I got this a week ago, and I was super excited to see it and finally have a cool all-in-one palette that would just be perfect for traveling. But sadly, I am quite disappointed with the quality of some of the products, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about in a minute. So right when you open it, you see this massive mirror, and this is great for if you're doing your makeup in the car or just anywhere. It is perfect, huge, awesome, and it stands up by itself, so that's nice. And then you have a skinny mascara, and it's kind of hard to get out. That is kind of one little negative. But you have the Perversion mascara, and I have never tried this before, but I just tried it today, and it is on my lashes right now, and I wasn't that impressed. It was just kind of like a mediocre mascara. It's fine. It's a smaller, skinnier size than the normal, but the brush is the same, so that's good. And then you have a eyeliner. This is the 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the color Stag, which is a brown shade, like a deep brown with a little bit of shimmer. And I'm not a fan of pencil liners, but I know a lot of people absolutely love these, and they're really good. Oh my gosh, it is so hard to get out. Next, you have my favorite part. This is the Naked lip gloss in the color Sesso, which is a pretty, like, rosy, dusty, little bit of gold shimmer lip gloss, and I have it on my lips right now. It is relatively sheer, and honestly, this is the best. It has really nice packaging, and it's not too sticky, and I just really like this, and it is my favorite. Now for the slightly more disappointing portion of this. These are the 5 eyeshadows, and I feel like this is the most important as well, so it should be really awesome, great, but I just was not wowed by these shadows. I was expecting really high pigment, awesome, but I just didn't like them. The colors did not work with my skin tone, and there was a lot of fallout, and when I did my makeup, it just looked really messy, and I ended up actually having to take it off and restart and do it again. And I do have some of the colors on my eyes right now. So the very first color you have is Dive, which is a kind of rosy pink brown shimmery shade. I really thought I was going to like this. When I saw this online, this definitely caught my eye. When you swatch it on your finger, it's very pigmented, but you can tell there's a little bit of fallout. If you brush it, it's kind of powdery. And if you swatch it, it looks really nice at first, but I found when I was doing my makeup, when you blend it out, it loses a lot of its kind of wow factor, and it just kind of goes to like a nice kind of frosty pink instead of that strong shimmer, and I just wasn't a huge fan. I would say it's a pretty good shadow. Next, you have one of the 2 matte shades. This is a kind of neutral, cool tone, light brown. Right when you put it on your finger, you just have a decent pigment, and then you put it on your hand. This is my arm. I was not a fan of this one at all. I found that it really just, it didn't show up, and this may just be because I have a deeper skin tone, but I just found the consistency to be very chalky and not creamy, and it just kind of disappears the more you blend it, and it just really did not work with me. That is the color Fix, by the way. In the middle, you have the color Resist, and this is a kind of gunmetal-y brown shade, and it is shimmery, and you see it on your finger, and it comes out pretty pigmented, much like the first shimmery shade. It's a little bit powdery and has a little bit of fallout, and right when you put it on, it comes out really pigmented. The more you blend it, just like the first one, it just kind of loses its pizzazz, and it doesn't have that super intense look. But this is the better of the eyeshadows in this palette. And the second matte shade is a deeper brown color, and that is called Dare. It's a little bit warmer, but it's still relatively cool, and I think it looks a lot like something you would see in the Naked Basics palettes. Swatch that, it comes out super pigmented, and I was like, this is gonna be awesome, right? So I swatch it, and it's much like the other one. It's chalky and just kind of blends out to nothingness. It's just not that rich color that I wanted, and I don't know, maybe I'm being picky, but look, just the more you blend it, it just kind of disappears. The last of the eyeshadows is Stun, and this is a more bronzy, shimmery shade, which is like the same amount of shimmer as the very first one. This one is very, very pigmented on your finger, and once again, the fallout issue. And then swatch it and it comes out awesome, but you can just tell the fallout. I just found this one to kind of make a mess, and I know I'm being more negative towards this palette, but I honestly was really disappointed right when I got it. I mean, obviously when I saw it, I was like, ah, it's beautiful, I'm gonna love it. And when I put it on my eyes, I was just like, crap. So a quick overview for all of these shadows. I thought it was a decent pigmentation or whatever. I thought they were pretty okay, but I just was not happy with the color choices. I thought maybe this would be a little bit more different just because they kind of turned out to be very similar, and I was hoping that I could use this highlighter as a kind of highlight shade for my inner corner or under my brow bone, but guys, I just really did not find that these are the most practical for everyday use, and I just really was not happy. So of course, after using all these eyeshadows, I was like, you know what, this highlighter is gonna be awesome, it'll work for me, and I was disappointed yet again. And I know I'm being harsh and I feel like I'm being mean to this poor palette, but it's just, I was not impressed. Now with this highlighter, it is called 50/50. Right when you put it on, it looks pretty simple, relatively pigmented, but once again, it just blends to nothingness. And even though a lot of the time when you have a highlighter and you blend it out, you don't want it to be super noticeable, but even if you turn it, like, it doesn't give off any shine, which is pretty much the point of a highlighter, and I just was not happy with how that one worked. Now for the very last part, I have the bronzer and blush, which is pretty much the exact same thing you would get in a Naked Flush palette. I'm not quite sure if it's the exact same color as one of them, but you get this really warm tone bronzer and this really bright baby pink blush. Now the only issue with this bronzer is that it is quite orangey toned, and I don't think that would work for all skin tones, but it works relatively well on mine. I have it on my face and I really liked it. My fingers are kind of a mess, but I'm trying to not like mix a bunch of shades. So you have it, and it comes out pretty much just like the eyeshadows pigmentation wise. And then see, it's kind of hard to see just because I have a darker skin tone, but it just kind of, I feel like I'm being so repetitive, but it just kind of disappears. The very last product in this palette is the blush, and I was super excited because I just like these really bright shades. I really like the bright pinks. But the only issue is, once again, I do not think this is the most practical color for everyday use, or if you're going to a trip. I don't think you could use this if you're going to, I don't know, every day. And out of all of this is definitely the most pigmented out of all of them. So when I put this on my cheeks, I was like, whoa, like, I look kind of crazy right now. But I blended it out, and this is probably my favorite, and right now it looks really, really intense. But if you blend it out, it eventually kind of dulls down to a pretty nice pink, and I have it on my cheeks, and I actually really like this. So overall, I think that this palette deserves a solid B-. It's kind of expensive. It is $54, which is the same-ish price, I think, as the Naked palettes, the big ones. Packaging is great. Like I said, I would give the product a C+, B- kind of. They just did not impress me. I was not totally wowed. It does not come with a brush, which is a little bit disappointing. And the lip gloss, once again, I thought that was amazing, but you can buy that separately. The eyeliner, it's just however you like it, and the mascara was just okay. So I'm sorry if my thoughts were kind of like crazy, but I just really wanted to tell you guys what I thought because I had my high hopes and I really was let down, and it is holiday time, and of course it seems like the most perfect gift palette just because it has everything all in one. It's a decent-ish price and it looks really nice, but I honestly do not feel like it is worth spending your money on. I've heard really good things about the Lorac Pro To Go palette, which is the similar idea, like the whole all-in-one. And I am going to be returning this palette and probably getting the Lorac one. And I don't want to smash any of your little hearts, and if you love this palette, whatever you think, this is totally my opinion. I just was not quite pleased. Okay, so that is it for this video. If you want me to do more reviews, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave any products that you want me to look at or anything like that in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this. I will see all of you beautiful biscuits next week. Happy December. I love you. Bye.
You were trying to make it work. You were sleeping in my shirt. Arcadia. Sometimes things don't.
Why does my voice get like 90 times higher when I say bye? I don't know.